Rapper Fetty Wap has been released from jail 11 months early. He returns home after serving just over 3 years on federal drug charges.
These are the shocking details behind rapper Fetty Wap's early release from federal prison and what his new life under home confinement actually looks like. The Trap Queen superstar, who was supposed to serve 6 years for drug trafficking, is now out after just 17 months. But his freedom comes with a massive catch. Remember when Fetty Wap was on top of the world? Back in 2015, this man had 4 songs in the Billboard Top 10 at the same time. Trap Queen was everywhere. You couldn't escape it. The radio, the clubs, your cousin's wedding. That song was the soundtrack to an entire year. He went from being Willie Junior Maxwell II from Paterson, New Jersey, to Fetty Wap, the distinctive rapper with one eye who made losing it to glaucoma as a child part of his iconic image.
It's a regular video that you get.
I mean, it's time for you to make some noise out there, make proper stuff. You mean everything, all problems get solved. With some ups. So I know you're good at that. Good. So, well, it's good. When I was doing what do you want like the catalyst to have like checkmate? Yeah.
But fast forward to October 28, 2021. The FBI arrests him at Citi Field, right before he's supposed to perform at Rolling Loud. Can you imagine? You're about to hit the stage at one of the biggest hip-hop festivals in the world, and instead, you're in handcuffs. The charges? Conspiracy to distribute and possess controlled substances.
In the afternoon before he performed, he's one of 6 indicted for conspiracy to distribute more than 100 kilograms of controlled substances on Long Island and in New Jersey. And those arrested also include a New Jersey correction officer. Officials say Fetty Wap and others involved transported, distributed deadly and addictive drugs, including heroin and fentanyl on Long Island, deliberately contributing to the opioid.
We're not talking about some small-time operation here. Federal prosecutors said he was part of a drug trafficking ring that moved over 100 kilograms of drugs, including heroin, fentanyl, and cocaine. Let that sink in for a second. 100 kilograms. During an opioid crisis that's killing thousands of Americans every year. This wasn't just weed or party drugs. This was fentanyl, the stuff that's been devastating communities across the country. Judge Joanna Siebert called him a, quote, kilogram-level redistributor in the operation.
The county where they were stored, Fetty Wap's role, according to officials, a kilogram-level redistributor for the trafficking organization.
That's not street-level dealing. That's major league drug trafficking. The fall from grace was swift and brutal. Here's a guy who named himself Fetty Wap, Fetty being slang for money, combined with Wap from guap, also meaning money. His whole identity was about getting paid, about success, about making it out. And he did make it out. He had the hits, the fame, the fortune, so why risk it all? His defense attorney argued it was about financial pressure and his difficult upbringing. They painted a picture of someone who'd found success, but couldn't escape the pull of easy money when things got tough. But prosecutors weren't buying the sob story. They emphasized how his celebrity status made him even more dangerous as a distributor. Think about it. Who's gonna suspect the famous rapper? Who's gonna question his entourage, his travel, his connections? Things went from bad to worse in August 2022. While out on federal pretrial release, Fetty Wap threatened to kill someone on FaceTime. On FaceTime. In 2022, when everyone knows everything is recorded, screenshotted, and saved, that threat got his bail revoked immediately. By August 8th of that year, he pleaded guilty to the conspiracy charges. The sentencing came on May 24th, 2023. 6 years in federal prison. He reportedly apologized to the community and his family, but the damage was done. The judge had to consider that he was distributing fentanyl during the worst drug crisis in American history. The prosecution wanted to make an example of him. His lawyers fought for leniency, highlighting his contributions to music and his community work. In the end, 6 years was actually on the lighter side. He'd been facing a minimum of 5 years and a maximum of 40. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. October 2024, just 17 to 18 months into his sentence, Fetty Wap is released to home confinement. How does someone sentenced to 6 years get out in less than 2? The answer lies in something called the First Step Act and the expansion of home confinement programs during COVID. The federal prison system has been using home confinement as a tool to reduce prison populations while still maintaining public safety. If you participate in rehabilitation programs, maintain good behavior, and earn time credits, you can qualify for early release to home confinement. Now, before anyone starts thinking Fetty Wap is just chilling at home playing video games and recording new tracks, let me break down what federal home confinement actually means. This isn't house arrest like you see in the movies where someone's lounging by their pool with an ankle bracelet. Federal home confinement is serious business. First, there's the electronic monitoring device, that ankle bracelet that tracks your every move through GPS. The Bureau of Prisons knows exactly where you are 24/7. Try to tamper with it, remove it, or go somewhere you're not supposed to. You're going straight back to prison to serve the rest of your sentence. No questions asked, no second chances. Your movements are severely restricted. You can only leave your approved residence for specific, pre-approved activities. What counts as approved? Work, if they let you have a job. Religious services, medical appointments, legal obligations, maybe the grocery store or other essential errands. But every single trip outside needs permission. You can't just decide to grab coffee with a friend or take a walk in the park. Everything must be scheduled and approved in advance. There are regular check-ins with your probation officer. We're talking frequent visits, phone calls, and reports. They want to know what you're doing, who you're seeing, how you're spending your time. Drug testing is mandatory and random. One failed test and you're back behind bars. The restrictions go beyond just movement. Fetty Wap can't have any contact with his co-defendants from the drug case. His internet and social media use is likely restricted and monitored. Think about that for someone whose career depends on staying relevant and connected to fans. He probably needs permission to post anything online, if he's allowed to post at all. Unlike in prison, where the government pays for your housing and food, under home confinement, you're responsible for all your own expenses. Rent, utilities, food, it's all on you. But remember, your ability to work and earn money is severely limited by the restrictions. It's designed to be challenging. He also forfeited $1.5 million as part of his plea agreement.
As part of the investigation, approximately $1.5 million in cash, cocaine, heroin, fentanyl pills, handguns, pistols, and
that's a serious financial hit for anyone, even a successful rapper. Combined with legal fees and the inability to tour or perform freely, the financial pressure must be intense. And let's not forget, he still has 5 years of supervised release after the home confinement ends. That means 5 more years of monitoring, drug tests, and restrictions even after he's technically free. One slip up during that time, and he could find himself back in federal custody. The contrast between his current situation and his glory days is stark. Remember, this is the guy who went from Paterson, New Jersey to international stardom. He had private jets, sold-out shows, millions of fans. Now he needs permission to leave his house. He went from performing at Rolling Loud to wearing an ankle monitor. Some fans support him, arguing that the system is unfair and that non-violent drug offenders shouldn't face such harsh sentences. They point to systemic issues, the war on drugs, and racial disparities in sentencing. Others are less sympathetic, especially given that he was distributing fentanyl during a national crisis. The drugs he was moving weren't just destroying individual lives. They were tearing apart entire communities.
What you mean? He's about to get praised for shit that should not be praised. I'm just gonna be honest. I like Fetty Wap. I like New Jersey as a whole. It's the backwoods California if you look at the state. What is it called? The Garden State, I believe? Yeah. But it goes to a point of, damn, Nash told you didn't hate on Pushashi like that. From what it looked like, they was trying to rob him, so he shot them. It's a shootout. It is what it is. And they weren't poisoning nobody but themselves. But at the same time, bruh, I'm like, shit. What are we really celebrating here? A man who flaunted his wealth, didn't start any businesses, didn't invest, didn't do all of these things, didn't have the wherewithal to know that, bruh, money dries up. Music is not gonna last forever as far as your, dare I say, your financial empire. Hopefully he learns, hopefully he comes out and speaks against that shit, because one thing that's for certain, two things for sure. We got to start treating that F-ball like we did the crack epidemic. There are certain characters out there, right, where it's like, do they really deserve a voice in this shit as far as harming and hurting the community? And some of y'all will be like, well, Citi Nash, you represent this, you represent that, and all that. I don't do that shit on YouTube. No, the hell I don't. And anybody that's around me, they already know. Citi Nash is trying to convert everybody into being truck drivers so that way we can start to operate way differently. But in this instance, man, I'm kind of conflicted because I don't do drugs my goddamn self. I don't smoke. I drink on occasions and shit like that, but I don't really drink like that. So the question then becomes, what are we celebrating here? Because I'm curious about his victims. Anyways.
There's also the question of whether early release to home confinement is appropriate for someone convicted of distributing fentanyl. Critics argue that the severity of the opioid crisis demands serious consequences for those who profit from it. Supporters counter that rehabilitation and monitoring can be more effective than pure incarceration. What does the future hold for Fetty Wap? That depends entirely on how well he navigates the strict requirements of home confinement. If he follows all the rules, stays clean, and avoids any violations, he could eventually return to some version of his music career. But one mistake, one unauthorized trip, one failed drug test, one contact with the wrong person, and he'll be back in federal prison serving out the remainder of his 6-year sentence.
Question ain't about jail, it's about what's next. Do y'all think Fetty can come home and shake it up again? Or is this one of them times where the streets still respect you, but the gang had already moved on? Is this a comeback waiting to happen, or is it closure for a run that already ended? I'm not answering that shit. That's on y'all. So drop it in the comments because
the music industry is notoriously unforgiving. 17 months is a lifetime in hip-hop. New artists have emerged, sounds have changed, and attention spans have moved on. Even if he manages to complete home confinement successfully, rebuilding his career won't be easy. The stigma of a federal drug conviction, especially for fentanyl distribution, isn't something that disappears. His story serves as a cautionary tale about the choices we make when fame and fortune collide with old habits and easy money. Here was someone who had everything: talent, success, millions of fans, and risked it all. Whether it was greed, pressure, or just bad decisions, the consequences have been severe.
Exclusive interview where he warned fans not to choose the same path he did. If I could say anything, anybody that really pays attention to me. That's what he started off. If I could say anything to a man that pays attention to me, choose a different life. Cause this shit whack, man.
Come on.
He said.
For now, Fetty Wap sits in his approved residence, every movement tracked, every decision monitored. It's better than a federal prison cell, but it's a far cry from the life he once lived. The man who once rapped about trap queens and making money is now trapped by an ankle monitor and a list of federal restrictions. The early release might seem like a victory, but the reality of home confinement is its own form of punishment. It's a daily reminder of what he's lost and what he still stands to lose if he doesn't follow the rules. The next few years will determine whether this is a comeback story or a final chapter. Only time, carefully monitored and strictly controlled time, will tell.